Well, helps when you unmute your microphone. I gotta check. I'm gonna turn off desktop audio so we don't have any issues here. Great. So, that works. And I gotta post it. Here, I've gotta post it. There. Alright. And there we go. It is time to transition. Hello there. I should probably minimize that. Go here and do that. Great. And we want to first. Yay. Anyways, hi. Hi, B. Stream health. Stream is healthy. That's good. So, what is happening today? We're programming today. Isn't that exciting? I'm not well prepared right now. And there we go. What are you programming? Well, that's a great question. You see, I've got a project. And my camera's off, yes. I've got a project. So the idea is if we look at whatchamacallit, online book club. Book club for readers. onlinebookclub.org. This is a website where you can catalog your books, which is great. We love cataloging books, and I've been cataloging my books. And the idea is you have these shelves. You have a to-read shelf, a currently reading shelf, a previously read shelf, and you can rate the books. But sadly, there's only these predetermined shelves. Jesus Christ. There's only predetermined shelves. There's the to-read shelf, the currently reading shelf, and 4, 3, 2, and 1 stars. And also, there's no DVDs on there. You can't put your DVDs on a shelf because it's not a book, obviously. And it's quite a pain to add books. And all in all, I'm unhappy with this system, so I want to make a better one. And because I'm very uncreative, I'll call it online media shelves, because it's for media, not just books. Yeah, that's essentially it. And today we are looking at authentication. So we're gonna be looking for authenticating the user so the user can log in, and authorizing the user to access resources. So users can create their own shelves, add items to a shelf, and maybe even add new items, like add a DVD box to the available items, which then has a barcode assigned, which is an important thing. The idea is you can open the website on your phone and go around scanning barcodes of your DVDs and get added with the barcode. And using the barcode, it can detect what's to be added, what it has to add to the shelf. I think that's the long and short of it. So, first of all, what do we have to do? Well, we have to do authentication. We've got our IDE. This is the Integrated Development Environment. And in this IDE, we have files. And this is what programming looks like, thinking about what you have to do. So you have to Google. I think Googling is always a good idea. Or DuckDuckGoing, I guess. DuckDuckGoing is a good idea. What do I want to DuckDuckGo? Where does one get coffee? I want to DuckDuckGo that. No, I don't. ASP.NET Core Cookie Authentication. Learn Microsoft.com. Use cookie authentication without ASP.NET Core Identity. Is a complete, fully featured authentication provider for creating and maintaining logins. However, a cookie-based authentication provider without ASP can be used. Maybe we solved this. Maybe this is a solved problem. ASP.NET Core Identity is an API, so a application programming interface or something, that supports user interface UI login functionality. Manages users' passwords, profile data, roles, claims, tokens, email confirmation, and more. Wow. Users can create an account with the login information stored in identity, or they can use an external login provider. That is cool. We like that. Okay. So you require authenticated user. We know how to do that. Identity is typically using a SQL Server database to store usernames, passwords, and profile data. Alright, we've got a... This is cool. I like that. Individual user... Oh no. No, it's just a preset. Default identity. Jesus Christ. Okay. Scaffold identity. So we have, okay, diagnostics, add migration, create identity schema. Okay. Scaffold identity into Razor project without existing authorization. That's cool. So .NET ASP.NET code generator. Use default UI. So this generates code for GUI. This is not the most interesting thing ever. Alright. So .NET ASP.NET code generator has to be added. And we are gonna make a new window. Open new window. And we're gonna go to Documents, Open Media Shelf, and in .config.net tools. That's not what I wanted to do. Sure, open with a micro. Here is a command, and we're gonna add a command. So what this does is it essentially installs a new program, and how we use it is we say .NET tool restore. Restore was successful. So now we're gonna add apparently all these. We're not gonna add that. We can add these. I'm fine with that. I'm thinking this is okay. Into MVC project. I've got a feeling that that it's a Blazor only thing. So let's explain. Blazor is a way to create websites, essentially. And I'm not using Blazor. I'm using another way to create websites, which is called React using TypeScript. Blazor uses C# as a programming language. I wanna check something. Right. And right, we're using React, and this expects to be using Blazor, I think. Now, I'm going to look at scaffolding into scaffolded into an MVC project without existing. That's also Blazor. That's CSHTML, yeah. Map Razor pages. I'm not too fond of that. Alright, we're going back to the first link, because that seems more correct. Hey, that looks simple. So, we're actually gonna program something. You won't believe it. I'm just gonna close Discord, you know. But we're actually gonna program something. So, program.cs. We have to add authentication. Add controllers. And we have this authentication schema. So add cookie, string default scheme. Registers the service. Default scheme specifies the name of the scheme to use by default when the specified scheme isn't requested. Okay. Add cookie. I suspect you could give it a name. Am I gonna give it a name? I might actually give it a name. I'm gonna think about that later. So, oh god, who wrote this? Why can't I remember writing this? Here. Okay. We're gonna use that, do that. Add authentication, add cookie. That's cool. use authentication, use authorization, and map default controller root. What does map default controller roots do? Yeah, this is programming. You just Google stuff. Oh, I'm actually using Ecosia. Interesting. Routing to controller actions. Map default controller root. Replaces name default pattern. I don't think I need that. Use authentication, use authorization, which has to happen in configure in startup. I already did this, so let's do a bit more. So what am I doing? Hi Regnitz. I am adding authorization. So let's explain authorization and authentication, which are two different things, and I think these two words are really difficult to discern or differentiate. Authentication is being known to the server. So the server knows, or the website knows, that you are XYZ, you're Lena. And authorization is whether you're allowed to access something. So you can be authenticated on a website and not authorized to access a page. Can I show an example? Probably not. Oh well. So, authorization and authentication. And I just added authorization and authentication. I actually added both. So, app's authentication scheme is different from app's cookie authentication scheme. When a cookie authentication scheme is provided, cookies prefix login path is account login. So we need to add a login page, a logout page, that page, I guess, return URL. Okay. Expiry time span, that's fine. I don't need that. Add cookie policy. Enables the cookie policy capabilities. I don't think we need that. So, construct a claims principal. Create a claims identity with any required claim and call sign in async to sign in the user. Login sample app. I hate CSHTML. I think I can just pretty much copy this. Okay. Now, what does use input email and input password to authenticate the user with your, for demonstration purposes, sample validates the user on email address, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Claims types, name, email, that's fine. Authentication properties. I think we can just yoink that and put it into a login page. I don't know. There has to be something busted already. .NET Core. Log in cookie authentication API endpoint. Something has to exist for this. To secure for SPAs. That looks correct. Or in memory, we use something completely different. With Entity Framework Core, that's good. We need that. We need that in web. Install. So create an identity DB context. I would like a chef controller, application context factory, application context. Here is from identity DB context, which I have to apparently install here as well. Yes, add import. Identity user. So this extends identity DB context. This extends identity DB context. Jesus, how much? Okay, it extends DB context, so that's fine. We can just use it. Whew. Oh, I'm glad you have something better to do than watch my stream. Playing Balatro is a better idea than this, frankly. Now, identity user. I might have to... Wait, why are you complaining? Oh. Yeah, alright. So we've got identity user, which inherits from identity user string surefied. Has a username, which is apparently a string. Who texted me at this time? You did. Oh wow, how do you play Balatro on this smaller screen? Anyways, sorry, I get easily distracted. We have a string username. Okay, identity user, T key, the type used in the primary key for the user. That's fine. What does identity user have? It has an ID, a username, normalized username, sure. Email, normalized email, email confirmed, password hash, security stamp, concurrency stamp, phone number. Two-factor enabled, lockout enabled, access failed, count. Do we need something else? I don't think we need anything else for the for that. Really. Fair enough. Let's think about this. We have a username, we have a yeah, we do need to link, but we do that on Okay, we have a relational database, so we have to somehow link our shelves, as a user can have multiple shelves, to a user. But we already do that. The only thing that's different here now is we are restricted by the Yeah. We don't have access to it as an item on the user, which is fine. We can just get it from the DB here. I think we are... let's just... user extends identity user. As base class. Class user has base class. What are you complaining about? Requires the restarting, yes. Class user is never instantiated. I don't really mind. You can... Foreign key? No. Okay. Shelf. User ID. I don't need that because it automatically does that. I don't need to specify a foreign key for this because it automatically uses the right foreign key. Now, application user. Let's call it application user. Yes, rename it. Application user should be used in application context here. So we've got an identity DB context with an application user, which is our user, and it has a shelves DB set. We also needed to have an item DB set, items. It already has a user DB set. So that's good. Okay, let's do a migration. Add migration. Improve user mapping or something like that. Migrations, okay. Can it build? I don't think it builds. I don't think this compiles. Application user dot username, normalized username. Now it should compile. Oh, it did it anyways. Okay. Improve user mapping. This is a lot of data. Oh, Christ. Okay. I'm just gonna accept that that's the migration. Let's see if it will update my database. And okay. Okay. We should have... Can we... Is this the right database? Localhost. Database. What did I call it? OMSDB. And yes, there we go. ASP.NET role claims, ASP.NET stuff, items, shelves. That's good. So everything here works now. Back to the documentation. That's the wrong Firefox window. Identity DB context. Good. And adding the code shown in these steps. Okay. Configure the EF core context. We added the DB context. That's fine. So services add authorization, add identity API endpoints. So back to here we go, and we're gonna go into the program CS and say add authorization. Build a services services dot add authorization. where does that come from? And then we'll say activate identity APIs. That's from Microsoft Extensions Dependency Injection. Sure. Add authorization, and then we're gonna say services.identity API endpoints, and we'll say application context, which is what it's called. Add entity framework stores. That's correct. Add identity API endpoints. I suspect... Why is that there a comment like that? I suspect we'll have to do this before, so I'm gonna add the DB context before we instantiate it, and we'll have to move this up as well. Okay. So this has to leave. This has to go. Add OpenAPI endpoints API and Explorer. Next up is the startup CS, which I have to map the identity API with my not identity user, but application user. So map controller map Swagger map identity API application user. Is Spinnet core. Oh, you figured it out. Thank you. And we've got app map get with name with OpenAPI require authorization. All right, that's we've done that. Test the API. Well, let's try. Let's rerun the project. Shelves, create. Oh my god, there's a lot of API endpoints now. I'm gonna close the default ones and say try it out. /shelves/create. ID will remove. User ID is 10, I guess. And items ID is 10, barcode 1, 2, 3, 4. Title string is fine. Let's execute, and I should contains authorization metadata, but not a middleware. But a middleware was not found that supports authorization. I must have skipped a step. Add identity API endpoints, map identity API, require authorization. I use token-based for clients that don't support cookies. I'm fine with cookies. The map identity API user endpoints. Okay. We set the shared key. I'm fine with all that. What did I overlook? Install these packages. Okay. Configure the entity framework context. Add identity services to the container. What I'm confused about is that I don't see where it adds the middleware. Because normally you add middleware in between. No authorization middleware was found. maybe I have to also add authentication. Rerun. What? There's another one? Add core authentication services needed for authentication service. Okay. Let's try this again. Try it out. I think I can just leave it at defaults. But not a middleware was found supports authorization. Middle identity scaffold identity. Maybe I actually overlooked something in here. It adds like a gazillion things. User data to identity. We've done that. Customize identity, configure identity, custom storage. External individual user accounts overview. You apply migrations, view identity database, configure identity services. I think we have skipped this part. Dot configure. So connection string. Add DB context, add database developer page. Okay, we're not using that. Add default identity, add identity, yes. Add Razor pages, no. Services configure identity options. Password settings, I think that is good. Configure application cookie. Sounds good. Use migrations endpoint. Use exception handler. Use HSTS. Use HBS redirection. Use static files. Use routing. Use authentication. Use authorization. Maybe I need that in my... No, I already have that. So I suspect something like this is missing. So, programs, yes. This is why I wanted to stream this, so I feel like I don't sit here alone in my pain. And I have something to talk. Require digits, require lowercase, require alphanumeric, require uppercase, required length 6, that's fine. Require unique characters 1. Gets sets the default minimum number of unique characters with which a password must contain. 4. Defaults to 6, so we don't need that. Defaults to true, defaults to true. So I think these password settings are good. Lockout settings. Failed attempt and allowed for new users. So it's a flag indicating whether a new user can be locked out. Defaults to true. Yes, time spent minute, that seems fine. Okay, lockout settings are good. User settings, allowed username characters. We don't want an @ in our username. No plus. Dash dot underscore. Require unique email. Yes, true. Configure application cookie settings, HTTP only. The client-side script, true. Okay, expired time span from minutes, 15. Login path, identity account login, access denied path, identity account access denied. It says... we'll say login, access denied, we don't need to change, sliding expiration we don't need to change, services add authentication, add authorization, add identity API endpoints, identity user, add... Okay, let's try this again. Maybe it'll work this time. I need a bio break. I will share my pain with you. Please hold the line while I show you this video I took today. Which is the reason why I need a bio break now. Because I took this video. Be right back. Anyways, I think this is was completely out of sync. Now I'm in the, but it's too late for me. Oh no, it's never too late for coffee. It's just too late to go to bed. Right, we wanted to test this. Shelves create. Try it out. We'll try it out. Execute. Grrr. Configure your application by adding app user authorization in application code. There are calls to app use routing and app use of must go between them. Oh. Well, the more you know. Maybe that's why. Use routing, use authorization. God, I should read. Never too late. Hi, Neon Wyvern. Jesus Christ, words. Neon Wyvern. This. Sleep is indeed not important. Right, let's try this Swagger UI thing again. Execute. Execute. Oh my god, the authorization policy named cookies was not found. That's... yes. I mean, it's broken, but it's different broken. And different broken means good. Yes. I don't know why it's different broken now. Oh, because I said services dot cookie policy. Add services and options for the cookie policy middleware. No. Cookie. Configures the application cookies. No. I'm just gonna copy this to the fun output, or also called Ecosia. Customer policy provider in cookies not found. I don't think so. Add cookie. Oh. Oh, okay. Add authentication and authorization have to go above the configure calls. Probably this has to go above these calls as well. This is complicated. This is why I dislike authentication so much. It's really painful. So, let's try this again, shall we? Shelves, create, tried out, execute. Cookies not found. Okay. Add authentication.u cookie. Add application cookie, add identity application cookie. That sounds fun. What else can we do here? Configure, validate, post. Thank you. It broke. That's not cool. Scheme already exists. Configures the application cookie. Scheme already exists. Services, we have to make this lowercase. Configure, add application cookie. Add cookie. Cookie authentication uses an HTTP cookie persistent in the client to perform authentication. I'd add cookie authentication. Maybe this one. Dum 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 dum. It broke again. Scheme already exists. Identity.application. Oh, I'm stupid. In shelf controller, we have to actually remove this. Authorize. Because the default. I have a break of exist. Oh, sleep is important because you get a break from existence. That's fair enough. I can respect that. Oh my god, yes! We got a 401 unauthorized. Why is it undocumented? 401 is not undocumented. 401 is unauthorized. You idiotto. Alright. So this should probably just work now. Now we get to the fun part. Web design. Yay. If there's anything I hate more than authorization, it's designing websites. So that's what we'll do now. TypeScript file. We'll add a login page.tsx and we'll say export function login page and we'll say return and we'll return a TSX element with a div and a label of for HTML4. Oh wait, we have Fluent UI. Fluent React.def.flu, no, react.fluentui.def. Oh god, this is bright. Field. Example field. Okay. Label. That's cool. So we'll say field. Yes. Insert import. Field with as hint input. Label. Label is, what's our label? User name / email. And is there a type? Item type equals, no, type, data type equals string. No suggestions? Ah, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Oops. So, and we'll just have password here with a data type password. And that should, if we go to /login, nothing should happen. It should say, oh no, while loading the web page an error occurred, not found, back to home. But we don't want to go back to home because we want to go to our app.tsx and add a new subpath called login with the login page. Yes, imported. Username, email, password. Okay. As field adds a label or to control. Oh. How do you make an input? Oh, it's probably called input. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let's field /field and we'll say input. No, I didn't want that. Okay, input. On input, we don't want that yet. Item type equals. What does the documentation say? The actual input element type equals text. Less overwritten as input. Appearance underline. I like underline appearances. Appearance. Underline. Okay, we don't want it the whole width. So we'll say style. And now the even more less fun part. CSS width equals 250 pixels. Not equals, colon 250 pixels. That's fine. Oh. No. This has to be 100 view width. And then there has to be another div. So this is well structured code, which is style width equal colon 250 pixels, and we'll say display flex. Who texts me again? Okay, that's not important. Display flex. Is it justify? No, it's align items. Christ. Ah. Okay. Sorry, I'm distracted. Align items, colon, center. So, this should... No. It did not. Justify content. Yes! Padding 50 px and sizing bound border box, so it doesn't scroll. It is beautiful. ASDF, and yes, we will add another field. Yes, CSS attributes have the most intuitive names on this planet. I hate CSS. That's why I'm distancing myself as much as I can from it. So we want type equals password. Yay! Look at that. And we need a submit button. Input type equals actually we'll make it a button. Yes, Fluent UI button. Login. And we've got a login button. Now, we need a little bit of spacing here, and I don't want to do CSS right now, so we'll do BR. Look at that. It's like styling without CSS. HTML styling is real. So, and now we need to attach an event handler. On click. And all we have to do with this on click is login user, which has to be lowercase as it's an internal function. And what else does this have to do? Set state and oops, set const state set state equals use state, and it should use the state of interface login page state. And login page state has loading boolean and this has login page state as a type, and set state has to get loading :true. And then we have some async stuff. Right, I want to distract myself. So I'll say state dot loading question mark, and now back to here where there is a spin button. No. Oh, that's cool. Doesn't support scrolling. That's stupid. Spinner. Yes. State loading is spinner. Yes, please import that. I said please import that. Otherwise, it's the login button. And this, it could all be this easy. And we need a function login user. And this will say use effect, because this will not work. State dot is logged in :boolean. State dot is if state dot is logged in, return. Otherwise async. Yes, we're doing async programming today. Async function login user. And then we'll call login user, which is ignored, of course, and not awaited. And in this async function, we're gonna say timer delay JavaScript delay 1 second. Wait 1 second. Easy guide. Set timeout function. No. Wait using promise. Return new promise. Go away. Holy shit. Where is my don't opt in at all? Where is my opt out of everything button? Excuse me. I will not visit this website. This is what happens when you end up on the hell side. Resolve timeout. Let's do 1 second, and then we'll say set state. And we'll say loading false is logged in true. Why are you complaining? Oh, okay. And you will not change that, so it's dot state, comma, Wasn't that how you do it? How do you JavaScript? State. Set state. Hi ESPman666. That's a fun name. Sorry, I'm 2 minutes late. I'm set state React, looking at JavaScript or TypeScript. Don't overwrite. Okay, that is totally a different issue. I'm sorry. Stack Overflow, you're... Previous state. I was sure that worked at one point. Oh, because state is... okay. Okay. It's... I was missing an exclamation mark. Because of course I was. This is TypeScript. Joking, I love TypeScript. It's so much better than JavaScript. Okay, this is taking a long time. Is this in milliseconds? Set timeout. What is this timeout? Delay in milliseconds. Okay, so my code is just straight up not working. That's fine. Oh. Await, new promise, and that should work now. No, it doesn't. Wait. Set timeout. Okay. Await new promise. Set timeout. Turns number. Resolve is something. Set state loading false is locked in true. True. Am I missing something? Is this being called console log? Oh. So, oh my god, there's a moth. Sorry, I got distracted again. I'm easily distracted. So, where were we? Right, we have to actually think. This is why I hate TypeScript. I have to actually think about what I'm doing. I hate frontend so much. So, someone presses the login button. I show a spinner, and once they're logged in, I redirect them. Okay. So, so actually, what did I just press? All right. I don't have an is logged in. What? What? Okay, stop. Okay. Is logged in, will be removed. And that is fine. Console.log ASDF. And I suspect it's going to just go into an endless loop here. ASDF. Okay. It stopped, so I pressed login. It takes a second. Okay. I mean, it doesn't take exactly a second. Which would be cool, but that's fine. We've got a login button, and when we press it, it loads. And instead of just spinning, we're gonna say var client equals new no client. It's literally just called client. And then we'll say client dot login post login. Login use cookies, true. Use session cookies, true. Login request. New login request. So now we're getting somewhere. Data is an interface of iLogin request, and we can probably say this as well. No, we cannot. That is stupid. Anyways, we'll say email is asdf@asdf.as and password is you're gonna do something else. Tell me later. I'll tell you later. You're gonna be excited because it's gonna be so exciting. So wait, client post login, and this will probably return a access token response. So var response equals, and what do we have on response? Response dot just set the cookie itself. By not me, but B in chat. So we don't need the response. That's fine. What's gonna happen is it's gonna yell at me. It froze. That's great. My Firefox crashed. Okay. Why is that happening? Okay, it seems fine now. And suddenly it crashes again. You know what? It might be because it's constantly trying to send web requests. Yes, okay. Error occurred. Session cookies true. 404. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this in a try catch E. I'm gonna say console log E. API exception. I'm confused. Why do you not? Oh my god, the SPA thing again. That is annoying. This won't work. Ugh. So our single page application proxy is running on port whatever, and our single page application is running on a different port. So in debug mode, this of course doesn't work. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 17 minutes. This has been a long stream already. I'm saying that because I need to take a break. I hope this was somewhat informative to someone, and it certainly helped me get more stuff done than I probably would have if I didn't stream. I'll go to here, and I'll go into here because I just realized I can monitor only. Yes. Well, thank you for watching, the few people that actually did. If you see this as a VOD, don't forget to write a comment on what I did wrong. I'd love to know. I might upload this. I might download the VOD and cut it so I get a bit nicer. A bit nicer thingamajig. Video. That's the word. I'm distracted by the music. Yeah, I think the last person has left. I just want to watch my animation. Cool.